Hey everybody, it is Chuck Barone, Tuesday, August the 27th, 2024. Quiet day today, guys. I told you guys it's going to be kind of a weird week, right? Everything's kind of going to happen at the end of the week. Market's kind of speculating some jostling for position here today, but all in all, mostly kind of a quiet day, both stocks and bonds. Um, Gold and silver moving just a scooch, but nothing really happening today. It was actually a good day. We need the markets need some calm every once in a while, right? It's not good to have that massive volatility. The VIX volatility index spiked up. Wow. And then nothing happened. So the VIX, I'm not so sure how what kind of indicator it really is. People might make a little wager on that, but I think it's in and out so fast, it doesn't really show any real kind of trend. But the markets, like, it's all about rates and Powell and, the data coming forward. Will the Fed be able to cut? How much will they be able to cut? That's just kind of where we are right now. So let's talk about these markets. But before I do, let me take a half a second. As always, welcome everybody to the show. And again, thank you guys for your support. It means the world to us, guys. Keeps us going here doing this show every day. Thank you to all my friends on the chat. We got the regular crew there, and nice to see everybody getting it going on the chat. You guys make me laugh every day. It's comical. All right, so let's talk about markets. So, like I said, everything really going to happen Thursday and Friday. Those are the days this week. So build up to that. You're going to see the markets might move, but it's not going to really move very much, and it didn't today. The Dow Jones was actually, for the most part, flat. It was not even up barely 2/100ths of a point, right? But still enough for a new world record. Yay, the Dow breaks the record again by nothing. So the Dow, 41,250 on the Dow. Didn't move but an inch, but it's still a new world record. The NASDAQ gains 29 points, 17,754. And the S&P gains 8 points, 5,625. So all in all, like I said, a pretty quiet day for stocks today. And then we'll take that every once in a while, right? Same in the bond market. You had the 10-year selling off just a scoot, just enough to make it go up 1 basis point. So the 10-year at 3.83%. The 2-year, people buying the 2-year, falls 1 basis point, 3.91%. So the inversion narrowing, it's only 8 basis points right now, but not much action in the bond market either. The dollar today comes down a little bit, down 26 basis points, 100.56 on the index. Every day the dollar holds 100 is a good day, guys. Because once they start really cutting rates, this dollar going to get shellacked, I got a feeling. Precious metals today rally up a little bit, with gold up $6.60, $2,525.20, and silver up 9 cents today, $29.93, inching its way toward $30. Hopefully, we will see, silver break through $30 and stay there, guys. It's been big resistance. It's been tough for silver to get up and through that. Gold back up over 2,500 now, looking very strong. Silver lagging a little bit. Hopefully we'll get that $30 out of the way soon and continue the upward march. Oil today falls down $1.74 per barrel, $75.68. So moving right back into the trough we expected to be in. I guess the war scare is that's just going to kind of be choppy with, are they going to go to war or they're not going to go to war? They're going to go to war or they're not going to go to war. It's just silly, but 70 to 75 is where oil wants to be. And Bitcoin today falls $1,432. Bitcoin holding strong to 60,000 though, 61,942, hanging on to that support. So Bitcoin holding its own right now, building that support up for the next stage of its run up. So there you have it. I mean, you can see by these numbers, it was a big nothing burger in these markets today. But we did get a little bit of data today. We got consumer confidence numbers. I saw Dave Dave and Molly talking about that on the chat here today. Consumer confidence coming up, a surprising thing because everybody expected this number to come down. Actually hit a 6-month high today. Okay. The number for August coming in 103.3 on the index. That's up. That is from an upwardly revised 101.9 in July. Holy crap. The government actually had to revise something higher. Well, that never friggin' happens. So 101.9 in July, jumping to 103.3 for August. Economists are the guessers. We're seeing this number today coming in at 100.3. So they beat the consumer sentiment, beating what they thought they were going to see. They thought they were going to see a pretty good decline. Instead, they saw a pretty good increase. So consumers feeling a little bit better. Now, what this gauge is how do consumers feel about the economy going forward for the next 6 months? So the consumer is feeling a little bit better about the economy. Damn if I know why, guy. I mean, I guess truthfully, if you look at the way things have been going, if you're in an industry that's not connected so much to higher interest rates like real estate, for example, and mortgage, if you're a job guy, I mean, the guys in the casinos here in Vegas, they have not noticed the economy being bad. It's only been good for them. These casinos are jam-packed. People are spending money, gambling, throwing tips around like freaking crazy. So I guess depending on what you do and where you are, really going to paint the narrative of how you're feeling about this economy right now. Because I got to say, they were asking me how things are going, me being in real estate and mortgage, I would say not so freaking great. And I don't really see it getting much better for the next 6 months, depending on how quick the Fed's going to cut rates, right? So the next 6 months, consumers feeling like things are going to get better. This is just Powell. I mean, you got to give Powell props, man. This St. Jerome pulls off another miracle here, right? High consumer confidence plays perfectly into exactly what he wants, because high consumer confidence tells us consumers are probably going to continue to spend, continue to borrow, continue to go the way they go. And we know these consumers are 70% of this economy. So if consumers are feeling good about the economy, I guess that's a good thing, guys. And if you look at it, like I've been kind of showing the contrast we've been doing. I should really do a report on that, on the two sides of the economy we're seeing here, right? Because on the one side, you're seeing record stocks, companies breaking records, all kinds of good things happening economically here, right? At the same time, you're seeing consumers ultra stressed, just about tapped out, running out of money, cutting visits to restaurants, cutting back pet services, cutting back bigger things. So Home Depot and Lowe's both come out saying consumers are deferring big projects. So, it's kind of just depending on where you're at, I guess, again, and what you do. Two different views of the very same economy. It's nuts. But Powell's getting what he wants, because if consumers are feeling good, chances are we're not having a recession. The consumers are the economy. Consumers are good. They're not gloomy. They're not hiding all their money, hiding their wallet. Guess what? The economy probably going to continue to keep going. So now Powell lines everything up perfectly for this perfect soft landing bullshit. I gotta see it. The consumers are going to make or break this economy one way or the other. Okay, it's not going to be businesses. If businesses start laying everybody off, consumers will slam the door on their wallet. Boom, slam the wallet closed, and that'll be your recession. But we see that's kind of inching its way up. But 4.3 is not like oh my god unemployment number. Now it is kind of moving up, right? Had been under 4% for a couple of years. So hugely mixed signals on the economy, but and I think the economy will be fine till the election. I think whoever gets the privilege of winning the election this year gets to inherit a wonderful recession moving into the new year, and gets to have some fun starting their term off dealing with that. Housing supply, moving on off of that now. Housing supply, real estate news, guys. Listen to this. Supply of new homes. Builders been building. That they've been buying rates down, creating all these incentives, been building, right? Well, now the people still not buying, can't afford, can't qualify, don't want $3,000 a month payments. So supply now of new houses sitting at the highest level, get this, guys, since early 2008. Early 2008. Holy shit. I remember those days, man. That was, a very bad omen for the real estate market. And pretty shocking to read this. Even existing housing supply, which has been so tight, man, the market for that has been so terrible because there's been no supply of it. Now jumping up, right? So existing home supply at its highest level now in nearly 4 years. So all of a sudden sellers have decided they want to sell, right? And buyers don't want to buy. So now we're moving into something that might actually be good news for home buyers. We might actually get this perfect scenario, guys, where as supply continues to go up, desperate sellers going to cut prices and offer more concessions. At the same time, you have interest rates coming down. Well, maybe all is not lost in real estate after all. That would be pretty nice to see it actually work out that way. We're seeing prices and rates coming down. Let's get first-time home buyers back in the business of buying real estate, back in the game. Would be great for the entire market, right? So interest now. P.S. At the same time, housing prices still at record highs. And I'm guessing from what I saw statistically coming out from Case-Shiller Index, prices when they announce the next median level price, we're going to break records, not only here in Vegas, in Nevada, and across the country as well. Okay. We know markets are getting a little bit ahead of themselves right now, though, guys. Markets factoring in 1 point in rate cuts before the new year. Starting to price this in like it's a done deal. I think Powell, depending on how things go with the economy here, I don't know if we're going to get 4 rate cuts total, let alone by the end of the year. I really just don't see the Fed coming out and cutting rates that low if we're not in recession. It's just, I don't see that happening. That's not good policy. And maybe the rest of the government's crazy, but the Fed, even though they may be late to the game and kind of slow, okay, but for the most part have managed to keep things moving along here. Now, granted, we had some extraordinary weirdness with the pandemic, but the Fed has done, even though they got into the game late, raising rates and fighting this inflation off. We went through transitory and all that other bullshit, right? So they got into the game late, but they've done a pretty strong job, and they've stayed strong in the face of things, bringing these numbers down. So I think the market might be jumping the gun a little bit on the how much the Fed's going to cut. Now, saying I think each individual cut, I don't see them cutting anywhere half a point. So they only got 3 meetings left this year. So the market factoring one of those 3 going to be a half point cut. Even if they cut a quarter at all 3 of them, though, and they bring it down from 5.35 to 4.6, and they give you 3 quarter-point cuts. Is that really going to change the game? I guess it might change the psychology of things a little bit. It certainly would change mortgage rates, which would be helpful to new home buyers. So we'll see how it all plays out. I still say the election is going to be playing into this. It's a factor for sure. Again, we have, both sides of this. A real argument can be made to both sides. The economy is shit. The economy is not bad. And it's both arguments are strong, which is just the weirdest paradox of all time, right? It's like jumbo shrimp or, one of those weird deals, right? Oxymorons. because you have, our strong is weak and our weak is strong. The economy is just bananas crazy silly right now. But if you look at the numbers, guys, the middle class is now really starting to feel the pinch of these higher prices. A lot of, they're taking surveys of where they are, obviously seeing what they're getting in this consumer confidence number. Consumers talking about cutting back not only on big projects, buying cars, forget boats and mobile homes, man. Leisure's toast right now. Consumers talking about not going. 60% of consumers said they're eating more at home than they used to. Not as many trips to restaurants, not as many trips out to entertainment. Cutting back on cutting back, and it was basically the people who were making 50,000 or less who were really affected by these prices. For the most part, people making more than 50,000 were pretty comfortable. Higher prices, they could see those higher prices, but it didn't really prevent them from doing anything they wanted to do. Now, with all of that cumulative, right, the cumulative inflation and prices where they are and everything going up through the friggin' moon, well, even now, people making from 50 to 100,000 starting to feel the pinch. Higher levels of debt, carrying more debt on their card. A lot of people who typically would pay their card off every month, all of a sudden now carrying those payments month, carrying payments over. So even now, the strength of the middle class, the middle of the middle class, feeling the strain economically. So again, it goes right back to what I was saying, though. Consumer confidence higher, at the same time, consumers feeling more strain, charging more things to their cards, doing less things, talking about cutting back, both at the same time. It's if you're an analyst, you're trying to look at these markets rationally, right? Without any kind of bias or political, because I know a lot of people, when the red team's in charge, the blue team wants the economy to be shit and vice versa, right? But I don't play it that way. I try to say it like I really is and like I see it, but this is just the weirdest thing I ever saw. It's just impossible to read it going forward because there's, like I said, such a strong case for both sides. Now, Friday's going to be the day, guys. Friday, we'll get a lot of consumer numbers, income, spending, stuff like that. But what we're going to see Friday is the new PCE numbers. When they don't list that in the ticker on the Wall Street Journal, that's why I didn't mention it yesterday. But I found out today as I was researching for the show today, tomorrow or Friday will be PCE day. So that inflation number is going to be huge. That one and CPI are going to tell the story, guys, plus jobs and jobless claims. So we got big data coming up over this first weekend of September, man. It's going to be a riot. So I think is it the 9th of September, we're going to get the jobs data for August, which is going to be really interesting. So we got all kind of fun stuff coming up next week. But first, we got to survive this week, man. The good news is, guys, college football kicks off this Saturday or Friday, actually. College football rocking and rolling. Next week, we got NFL to look forward to. We're moving into the fall, finally getting things a little bit cooler here in Vegas. We're not seeing those 115, 120s. So I'm a happy guy, man. This is my favorite time of the year. Hopefully the markets will be good to us. We got an election to watch and talk about. What more could we ask for, guys? Anyway, that's it for the day, guys. As always, thank you 1 million times for your support for the show. Thanks to everybody on the chat here. We got Donna, Jordan, Elevate. Hey, Tommy, how you doing, my man? Got the usual suspects, David Marley and Wolf, and we got Big Smoke and the usual suspects. Paradiddle on there, the usual crew. Anyway, tomorrow's another day, guys. We'll be here to bring you guys the news you need. Please hit the thumbs up on your way out, guys. Changes the algorithm, gets our video out in front of a few million people. Maybe we can pick up some views. Let's do that. In the meantime, everybody have a great evening. Peace out. See everybody tomorrow. Thanks.